everyone. And as I went live, I realized I forgot to attach the microphone. So, switch the audio setting, and we should have good audio again. Morning, everyone. Coming to you not too early, but pretty early from Sydney, Australia. I am at Bondi Beach at an absolutely incredible apartment. Huge shout out to Michael for hooking me up with this unreal property with a view and location, streaming to you from the terrace here. I really like Australia. I know I got into this whole conversation on another podcast and the internet connection was bad because a lot of people don't want to go to Australia and they don't want to go to New Zealand because of their horrible policies of being able to force you to unlock your cell phone. And if you don't, there's a $5,000 fine and you can't get in the country. Look, I know that's bad, but man, do I like the country, both New Zealand and Australia. And like I said on the other podcast, so far I've entered and exited New Zealand twice and entered Australia twice and exited Australia once. I still have one more exit out of Australia. And it has been, the most enjoyable passport control process ever. And I travel a lot. So, take my statements with a grain of salt. I'm not going to force anyone to come here. The less tourists come here, the more, the less crowded it is when I come here because I really, really like it. This is a great, great spot. Bondi Beach, thank you. The community, the Australian, the Sydney community. We went out to a little dinner last night. The big meetup is today. There's a meetup today. I really should get the link to the meetup. Where is the link to the meetup? Or you can check on Stefan Lovera's Twitter. I'll tweet it out. I'll tweet it out after. There is a meetup today. It's actually kind of full. I think they reserved space for like 75 and like 90 people have signed up already. So it's a little full. But I really like Australia. The food, people are nice. Just, look at the scenery behind me. Though if I was to rent this place, it would have been quite a bit. So I don't know if I can afford that us broke podcast creators. But it's great. Like I hear some of these stories. Like this area back in the 80s was not very popular, and those that bought real estate here in the 80s have done very, very well, which is awesome. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about the Australian markets and Australian real estate as well. Um, all right, let's go to the charts. Price is moving, so we should take a look at that. All right, I'm going to be looking straight at the lower level time frame. So these are the 4-hour charts. I'm more curious what happened in the last hour or two. So the price has just moved. I was actually awake for that. So yeah, I was up around 7 a.m. this morning, and it's about 9:40 local time. So yeah, so I was awake during this pump. I just wasn't really paying attention to the price. Not the first thing I look at, though it should be. And really would have expected this to keep going lower off of this candle here on the hourly time frame. Really don't have any kind of explanation as to from a TA perspective, at least my TA. Everybody's TA is different. My TA would have had absolutely no reason to anticipate a rise in prices off of this low. On the other hand, my TA would have been screaming, get the hell out at the high because you have a reversal candle with a 9. So, so everybody's TA is different. There was a sequential 13 here, but that didn't really do anything. And the hourly chart, you have this pump. Again, people ask, well, what do you think about this move? And to me, it's like, yeah, this is like a typical Sunday for Bitcoin. This is why I think it's challenging to trade assets that are this volatile. I prefer traditional assets personally, but the skill set to trade them is the same. That doesn't change. Hourly chart isn't very helpful to me right now. I am completely neutral because that's a reversal candle in the hourly chart that took place last hour, and this hour is kind of flat. Let's go back to that 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart also, the 4-hour chart was completely neutral. It was only on a red 1. Never had a red 2 go below a red 1 in the last 4 hours. So the 4-hour chart was always neutral. Look, we fell quite a bit. We fell in a matter of a few days. We fell 7, almost 8% for $700. You fell from 90, 200 all the way down to below 8,500, and you did this in about 2 to 3 days, right? 2.5 days. So it's due for a bounce. When things go up too far, they are due to pull back. Here's a nice pullback from a 9 to a 9. This was a nice consolidation and breakout. I personally would have thought the breakout would have lasted a little bit longer, because if I draw this as a triangle, which I will delete, you know what? Let me do this. Let me delete this line. I'm going to draw this as a triangle. So if I draw this as a triangle breakout, you know, something like this, but in green, because it's a bullish triangle breakout. If I draw it as a triangle breakout, and I see how low it was, that was $426 for just under 5%. So if I just slide this over and I flip it, this is where I would have expected the top to come. So when this broke out, I would have expected a little more upside based on the rules of a triangle. It didn't happen. I mean, they don't have to happen exactly the same way every time. That's a very nice ascending triangle to me, very clean. And I would have expected a little bit more upside and then a pullback. And if we would have hit that upside, I would have only expected the pullback to come to the bottom of the triangle, but we've already gone below that. So now, even on this chart, this is the 4-hour chart. I think at the least, we should pull back down to the channel breakout. And then if we can hold this channel going into, say, February, then the low is probably in, right? At the moment, I still think there is a high probability we swing lower. So I'm still leaning bearish here. This is a 12-hour chart, not very interesting. Daily chart. I know I got a lot of arrows here. I think that I think the local top is in, and I guess we still have to break this stop and reverse point, which is interesting. Yeah, so the creator of this particular indicator reached out to me. He's in my group chat. And wow, we almost broke it. So close. Wow, so close. I am anticipating this to break. We did have a red 3 go below a red 2, and we just like bounced to the upside. I still think that the local top is in. I will respect the 200-day moving average. I will respect it to the point of anticipating new lows. This declining 200-day moving average is certainly nothing to sneeze at. It's now been declining for a while. I mentioned an interesting bet on another stream with a good friend of mine. a very good friend of mine. You know who you are. I sometimes I don't like dropping names due to, people's privacy. And about 6 months ago, sometime over the summer, so around here, Bitcoin was well above 10,000 between June and September. So in this zone, sometime over the summer, we were going to a bunch of dinners. We made an interesting bet. I probably drank a little too much wine before I made the bet, and I wanted to change one aspect of the bet, and he didn't let me. So there's a high probability he'll win the bet, but I'll stick to my word. So the bet is for a very expensive dinner, and the bet is, will Bitcoin spend 3 months above $10,000 in 2020? The perpetual bear tone, of course, said no. And my friend that's a bull said yes. Now, the one aspect of the bet I wanted to change, like the next day when I sobered up, was, oh, wait, I kind of meant for that to be 3 months in a row. So 90 consecutive days above $10,000 in 2020. But the bet stands as is, 90 days non-consecutive of above 10,000 in 2020. Okay, we're not going to get into the little tiny minutia of we crossed 10,000 for 3 hours on this day. Does it count as a day? You know what? We'll deal with that if it comes. But it's also a friend of mine. It's if the winner is debatable, we'll split a nice fancy dinner, right? But or I'll probably just maybe I'll pay up. He's taking me to enough dinners over the last few years. So, but the point is that I anticipated Bitcoin to not be above 10,000 for 3 consecutive months, or for 3 months in general. 90 days above 10,000 in 2020. I think we'll be close. I think by the end of the year, we'll certainly dominate this range of 8,000 to 9,000. I'm not expecting us to be in the $5,000 range for most of the year. But you got to look at it from a different perspective. If the pullback that I am anticipating comes, if let's say we do drop down below 6,500, it's not going to take a day to get down there, and it's not going to take a day to get back up there, right? So if we do go below 6,500, which I'm still anticipating, and then come back to the current prices, that's probably going to take 3 to 4 month chunk of the year in my favor of being below 10K. So I mean, look, we've been declining overall. We continue to make. Look how many lower highs we have. 1, 2, 3. I guess that's a 4. That's definitely a 5. And this is now a 6. This is a 6th lower high. And we've been doing this. This is June, and we're already more than halfway through January, right? So that is over 6 months. We've been doing this for over 6 months. So, or 6 months exactly. So that's 6 months of the time we're technically still trending down. Yeah, we've broken out of the channel, but now we've gone a lot quickly. And either way, we need a pullback, even if the low is in. People are still mad at me for being a bear for 2 years, but look, we're still down more than 50% from the high. So there's a reason to still be a bear for 2 years. It's not like the S&P 500 that's at a new all-time high. Where are we here? We're still down 55%. Kind of guessed where that thing is. Yep, perfect. Yeah, we're still down 55% from the top. So this is why I'm still skeptical on the price. I want the price to prove it to me that it's ready for new highs, or give me a really good low entry. And while this was a good low entry, and I took the slow entry, I only took it for a short-term trade, not a long-term hodl trade. But I still think there'll be a chance to get into a nice long-term hodl trade. Some ridiculous headlines out. Toxic Bitcoin maximalist pushes Kim.com into B trash. That is, of course, ridiculous. I was basically there to talk Kim out of believing in the lies of Bcash, and the lies continue to grow. I'm gonna send out a tweet with an insane lie. Roger Ver, I just saw an article. I was in the article as well. That's why I saw it. But in that article, Roger Ver says that 90% of transactions, retail transactions in Australia, was 90% dominated by Bcash. In reality, it's more like 3%. So, or less than 3%. I'm sorry, I gave him too much credit. In reality, it was about 2.5% of retail transactions. Not overall. The crypto retail transactions was 2.5%, but Roger is out there saying that 90% of retail transactions in crypto in Australia are 90% with Bcash. And these are the kinds of lies that, like, how do you combat that? Like, when the lie is so egregious, where do you even begin to debunk the insanity? It's same thing with fake Satoshi. Where do you begin to debunk the lies of fake Satoshi? And it's just time draining. And if people want to believe in lies, and these are the public lies, imagine the private lies. Like, imagine the lies you tell people in private that people can't call you on your bullshit. So that's the challenge. And I think that is one of the reasons why I'm fundamentally concerned for Bitcoin, is because big lies win. This is how we get, you know, communism and all this other stuff in the world. So until Bitcoiners are on the same page again, like they were in 2012 and 13 and even 14, I think this space is going to struggle. It's going to struggle. People also ask about the whole Peter Schiff situation. I mean, I didn't make fun of him. I didn't say anything. Look, all I will say is, please, for the love of God, stop using blockchain.info wallet. It is the worst wallet that isn't a scam in crypto. The worst. I have been saying this since 2014, since the first day I became public. About anything, like before my first video, before my first article, before my first speech, I was telling people, please, for the love of God, delete blockchain.info wallet. It is terrible. It will lose you your Bitcoin. Before they sue me, this is my user experience opinion. I will never use your wallet. I will never recommend your wallet. And this was before I even cared that Roger Ver funded that company. This is before they purposely made transactions slower and expensive by not putting in SegWit. And long before that, it was the worst wallet I never recommended anyone use. I try not to recommend wallets. I only recommend wallets not to use. I don't recommend wallets to use. I will say, don't use any, obviously for your Bitcoin, don't use any custodial wallet. Coinbase is probably worse than blockchain.info for different reasons. I mean, Coinbase, you're not in control of your Bitcoin. At least with blockchain.info, you're in control of your Bitcoin. I just don't trust their developers because they lost me Bitcoin back in 2014, early 2014, by using that wallet. And I knew what I was doing. So I don't blame Peter Schiff. That wallet's terrible. I can tell you, you know, I honestly don't want to. I don't want to tell you what I use because then I dox myself, at least not publicly. I can tell you which wallets I trust, and it doesn't mean I'm currently using them, but it means I trust their tech. And the two at the top of the list are Blockstream Green, formerly Green Address, because it's made by Blockstream, so I trust that wallet. And I also trust Samurai Guys, okay? So I do trust those two wallets. There are other wallets, but I don't want to dox my situation. On the hardware wallet side, again, this is Tone's personal trust. I'm not a developer, so I can't prove it to you. I'm not a good developer anyway. I'm a developer. I'm just not a good developer. I'm a shitty developer. From the hardware wallet side, I trust Coldcard the most, but I like the user experience of the Trezor. So I am not a big fan of personally. Everyone's different. I'm not. I mean, I've used them all. I've used them all, guys. I find the ledger to be very challenging to set up, especially for a noob or myself. So I find the user experience of Trezor to be the best. There are things about Trezor I'm not in favor of, but yeah. So those are my views on things. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go take a look at Uber, Lyft, and JMIA again today. Markets are open today. There was a holiday yesterday. Yeah, I like the Model T. I like it because it's very user-friendly. I still call it blockchain.info. I know they rebranded to blockchain.com, but it kind of dates me a little bit in the space. I still call it blockchain.info. But I hate that wallet with, like, I always hated it. It's not even like an agenda against Roger Ver and SegWit. I hated that wallet long before that. Hated that wallet before the word SegWit even existed. Those of you that saw me at the old Bitcoin Center days will probably know how much I told people not to use that wallet. Tone, what happens to the Bitcoin total market cap when people short sell Bitcoin? The answer is nothing. Shorts do not drive down markets. They just don't. That's not how short works. Go Knowles. Yes, go Knowles. Hopefully we'll win more than 6 games and make it back into a bowl game again. All right, let's take. I'm looking at your live chat, guys. BTC1 explanation point. I'm assuming that's the CME future. I think I have a chart of that. Let me. I'll take a look at that real quick, and then we go to. Then we'll go to traditional markets. Hey guys, if you want to support my work, please check out the affiliate section of. Oh, I see. There's a little Trezor link. Please check out the affiliate section of tonevase.com. Also, Unconfiscatable is open for registration. Amazing lineup of speakers. We have Jan from Slushpool was a recent addition. Speaking of Coldcard, here's NVK. All the lawyers are going to come. That's going to be fun. Maybe we'll do a mock trial. John Najarian, I really respect John Najarian. Huge fan of his, and does options trading. Really smart guy. He happens to be in Las Vegas, so that's awesome. So we're able to, get him. Yeah. Ooh, I think Murad can't make it. I gotta remove him off the speaker list. Very unfortunate. He was trying to make it, but it doesn't look likely. But we were able to get Saifedean. It's still a great lineup. I can't wait. I can't wait to hang out. and the financial summit, of course, in Bali and Dominican Republic. Hey guys, shout out. You know what? I want to actually redo the link. Sorry, one more thing. These conferences, especially like, well, my conference, because we are very selective. We're not going to have scammy sponsors. We don't just, take money from anyone. Last year's conference was not profitable, but this is for, better Bitcoin. I want to give a shout out to some of the sponsors that are sponsoring. I'm actually going to try and do some interviews with the sponsors so you understand what their companies do. So here we go. Thank you, sponsors and media sponsors. Check them out. We're going to add a few more over the next few days. Here are some of our media sponsors. This is not the Nakamoto.com that everyone seems to have a problem with. Check them out. Here they are. And I'll mention some really cool projects going on there. I'll mention more in a few days. Don't forget the workshops, guys. All right. Let's talk. Oh, God, BSV. Jesus. Mother of God. What's going on here? So let's go to see how the year is shaping out. Haven't looked at this chart in a while. So from the beginning of 2019, the best performing shitcoin besides Bitcoin is Bitcoin SV. What does that tell you about the space? When the best performing shitcoin that has outperformed Bitcoin for the last year and change was the one created by a fake Satoshi. Like, man, that's gotta piss off someone like, Roger and the Bitcoin Cash guys who are being crushed by their rivals and former friends, Bitcoin SV. I mean, you can't make this shit up. Whoever, look, I ask you guys for one thing. Whoever makes a movie about this shit in about 5 years, please call me. Please just get my views on it, because some of us were there the whole time. Man, this is like, you can't make these jokes up that Bitcoin SV is the best performing asset in the crypto space over the last 13 months. Look, there is nothing wrong with the ledger. I'm just saying it's not a wallet I like setting up. I don't like personally, I don't like the user experience. That's my personal opinion. There's nothing wrong with it, right? It's I hate Apple products. There's nothing wrong with Apple products, but I'll never own an iPhone. Like, I'll never own a Mac. I'm just not an Apple products guy, right? There's nothing wrong with Macs. There's nothing wrong with Apple products. There's nothing wrong with the ledger. It's just not my favorite wallet. I'm sorry if you use a ledger. Like, there's nothing wrong with you using a ledger. I'm not even sure they're brainwashed. Some of them might be just being paid. Ledger is a true hardware encryption. Others are not. Fine. Again, I'm not knocking the ledger. I'm not saying don't use ledger. Like, I'm saying don't use blockchain.info. I'm just saying that sometimes for me, a user experience and a peace of mind. Look, is it possible that my Bitcoin is 1% less safe on a Trezor versus a ledger? It's possible. But if the Trezor gives me 90% more comfort in using it and storing my savings on it, then that's the solution I'm going to use, even if it's 1% less secure. Like I know that look, there is a big difference between 99% security and 100% security, but there isn't that much difference between 99.5% security and, let's say, 99.5 and 98.5, right? Like, I'm happy with a 98.5% secure solution versus a 99.5% secure solution if that 98.5% gives me a significantly better user experience? I agree, nothing is 100% secure, right? Look, I've heard stories that if someone gets their hands on your Trezor, they can get the Bitcoin out of it within a day or two. I've heard those stories. They could be true. I can't verify because I haven't seen it done in front of me. So it might be true. But I also heard, yeah, if it's a ledger, it's going to take me about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. But if it's a Trezor, it'll take me a lot less time. Okay, so if you steal my Trezor, you will get my Bitcoin within a day or two. And if you steal my ledger, you will get it within a couple of weeks. Either way, I'm going to lose it, right? So if someone, the probability that someone steals my hardware wallet and I don't know about it within a day or two, but somehow know about it within a week, that probability is so small that I will choose my user experience over over that additional week of get my coins out, assuming I find my 24 words. I like that. Any Elvis Presley impersonator is more likely to be the real Elvis than Craig is to be Satoshi. Maybe not now, but maybe in the 60s, yes. That is certainly true. How much are Bitcoin and gold correlated? I think they're pretty correlated, but not on the short term, though they have been lately. I think gold and Bitcoin are pretty correlated, but you can do the math yourself. Like take a week and do some math. All right, let's take a look at some more charts. Let me see if I can. This is GBTC. I want to refresh this. Let me see if I can pull up the CME futures and see if there's anything interesting in the CME futures. I love the view, guys. I got to show you the view. This is incredible. Michael, shout out. Thanks, man. Michael was one of the attendees at the Financial Summit in Bali. Thank you for coming out over there and support. Also, huge shout out to Gary. You know who you are, Gary. Huge shout out. Thanks for the tequila. And also thank you for supporting the Financial Summit in Bali. This is just like the place I'm staying in. Mind blowing. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the support. And also thank you to shout out to Caleb in Brisbane from Travel by Bit, who put me up in Brisbane, and Owen. Shout out to Owen over in Byron, Gold Coast area, organized the meetup and also put me up at his place over in Byron. I'm actually enjoying staying with, other fellow Bitcoiners. As long as there's like good places to stream from, maybe I should do that more often. Take people up on their offers to crash at their place. But it's fun. It's more enjoyable than, trying to book hotel rooms and Airbnbs. Also allows me to stack my sats. All right. Oh, let's turn off my video for a minute. All right, let's go back to the charts. Let's yeah, there's GBTC and the GBTC premium. Ooh. GBTC premium down to 15%. That is interesting. I should pay attention to this. If we take a dip down, that premium could definitely dip below 10%. And that makes it very interesting to me. Huh. Okay. Something to keep an eye on. Let me pull up the CME futures chart. Bitcoin futures, there it is. I have it set to the 4-hour. This is the nearest future that is rolling, kind of like a perpetual. It's set to a 4-hour chart. I don't see the numbers. There they are. Here we go. Wow, old chart. Probably old indicator too. Yeah, let me I know I should be using a template, but let me get rid of the grid lines. I hate grid lines. Okay, let me switch to hollow candles. I gotta release this indicator, but I think we're finally done finding all the bugs in the new script. TI sequential, I think, is my latest one. And I think we're done finding all the bugs, and this new script is really cool. I don't really care about volume. Oh yeah, and I need the triple moving out. Wow, this is an old chart of the futures. Oh, I gotta change my colors on the indicator. Doesn't matter really. Wait, I thought I'm using the forecast. Why isn't it forecasting? Oh, I just deleted it. It doesn't matter. Nice 9 sell, 9 buy. Oh, it's the 4-hour chart, the same one. Let's look at the daily. I mean, it's better to use the Bitcoin chart. I would love to trade the CME futures if they traded on the weekends. That's what I would be trading. Nice 9 buy here. Obviously, the sequential is going to be very different on the futures because it skips the weekends. It's bullish. Like the chart looks fairly bullish. It looks a lot cleaner than the actual Bitcoin chart, to be honest with you guys. All right, let's look at some traditional assets. Here's gold. Gold weekly is consolidating at the highs, which is a bullish phenomenon, but the 9's coming next candle. Tone, can you get Willie back at some point to discuss the plus token dumps? Any indication? So I might see Willie again because we're both in Southeast Asia. Well, technically I'm in Australia, but I'm going to Southeast Asia on Friday. I haven't even announced this yet, guys. I'm going to be in Bali. So I'm heading back to Bali this weekend, and I'll be in Bali for about a week, but I haven't even reached out to the Bitcoin community in Bali to set up a dinner or a meetup or whatever. So if you're in Bali, keep in mind that I will be there, and I would like to meet the community because the last time I was in Bali, I was just too busy with the financial summit. Here's the daily chart of gold, and wow, talk about knowing when to get the hell out of gold. Interesting. And right now we are consolidating, and I think it looks bullish. Contrary to what I think from a fundamental perspective, this is awesome. This is what the sequential has been designed to do: get you out at the top, or get you in at the bottom. It's not going to always get you out at the top or always get you in at the bottom, but this is what it kind of does. So I would be out on this candle, and I would be considering getting back in very soon. Let's go back to the weekly. I want to look at the stock market, US stock market. I want to take a look at the Australian market too. Why is this? It's a green candle. Okay. The market is consolidating, which is bullish. So I would be out of the stock market, whatever this is, the 16th and the 17th of January. And right now, I would almost have my finger on the trigger to get back into the market. But in a perfect world, you would get 3 more days of consolidation. Like this entire week is a consolidation week, because I don't want to get in on a 5, on a green 5, going above this area. I want this count to reset. I want a red 1 and then a green 1 and then a green 2 going above a green 1 going above the highs, and I'm back in to the stock market. Okay, so I am I would not, as a short-term trader, as a long-term trader, I'd still be fully invested. Here's the weekly chart. There's nothing wrong with the weekly chart, but on a daily chart, as a short-term trader, I would give it a few more days and then get in, because it can still reverse. There's no reason to rush in today. Wait till it breaks the all-time high. Yes, I am going to take a look at palladium. And there was another ticker someone threw in there, EXL, only because I don't know what EXL is. Yeah, I was with a friend here at the house, and we were going through some of Australia's, some of the Australian stocks, and it was great. Like, I'm not going to name the stocks. I don't want to like dox people, but I happened to have this one on the screen. It was like one of the 10 stocks we looked at. And I'm like, wow, sequential, you should have got out here as a short-term guy. And I would be considering getting out here as a short-term. But on a long-term scale, this company is doing well. I have no clue what this company is. It's an Australian company, and it's at a new all-time high. And I love buying stocks at a new all-time high, because it means they're probably going to go to new all-time high. So whatever stock this is, the best time to buy this stock was whenever it broke a new all-time high, whether that's here and then here and then there and then here and pretty much anywhere. When a company does well, a company does well. So the weekly 9s are very, very useful. I love this one. Again, there are so many stocks in the world, which is why we're building the notification service. So here's a weekly 9, the week of December 2nd, after a nice run up. And there was a 9 prior, back in July, but here's a 9 on December 2nd. And this 9 on the week of December 2nd had a 9 on November 29th, right? So right before, a few days before the weekly 9, at the very end of the price, see, that's December 2nd. So on Friday, the week before, so this was the last day of candle number 8 on the weekly, and this is the first day of candle number 9. So getting out on these 2 days would have been your perfect exit of this trade. You can always get back in after a nice pullback of 10% or whatever this thing did, or at least put your money to work somewhere else for a month and a half. All right, let's look at EXL. What the hell is EXL? Excellion Global Limited, an Aussie stock. Interesting. If EXL is a shitcoin, I am not interested in looking at it. I am interested if it's a traditional asset. If you're, wow, see, unlike the other Australian companies, this one has been crushed over the last year. But look how much it fell. Like, this company has fallen 91%. It is almost as bad as a shitcoin. But look what's going on. It is rising. It had a 9. It consolidated. It's broken moving average. It's about to have a golden cross. If you found this company a few weeks ago, it would have been great to potentially get in. At this point, I would wait for a pullback. If I saw this thing pull back to the vicinity of under $1 and I saw it bounce off of this cross, that's not a bad pickup. I mean, as long as the company isn't a scam. It went to an all-new all-time low. I have no idea what sector this company is, but that's a nice run-up. Where are we here? We have went up. It went up off the low Off the low, it's up 177%. That's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. Off the low to the high, it's up 180%. Let it pull back to $1. And if this company isn't a scam, as long as they have a product and some customers and a service, or if they have a way to make money, this can easily go back up. Worst case scenario, it can go to the declining 200-day moving average, so you can still double your money here. Looks interesting to me. But let's look at other assets. Look at Palladium. Here's daily Palladium. Tell me there was a 9 up here, and there it is. Double 9, it's time to get out of Palladium on a daily scale. You can always get back in later. The daily chart is telling me I need to get out of Palladium, and now is a good time as any. Yesterday would have been better. Today is still good to get out of Palladium. And on a weekly scale, oh, yeah, get the hell out of Palladium. You got to get out of Palladium. Take your profit. I mean, let it pull back. Let it go back down to $2,000, back to the next moving average. It's a no-brainer. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that you have a weekly 9 and a daily 9 in Palladium to take your profit. There's nothing wrong with taking your profit. I would be out of Palladium. Let's look at a few stocks. I don't want this video to last too long. I have a bunch of work I gotta still get done, and I want to go to the beach and enjoy. Do you guys not see what's behind me? How in the world do I stay doing a podcast all day? Let's go to equities. No, you know what? I want to talk about the Australian stock market. Let's talk about the Aussie stock market. XJO. Okay. I am very bullish the Australian stock market. I know it has gone up a ridiculous amount. The Australian stock market is up 31% in a year. That is insane. Okay. But it's only on a 4-weekly. It broke out this awesome ascending triangle, cup and handle, whatever the hell you want to call it. And it is just now went to new all-time highs. Just now went to new all-time highs from 2007. Nice 9 right there at the high. All right. So 12 years, Jesus, 12 years it took Australia to go to a brand new all-time high. And also take a look at the currency, right? What was the currency? If I go to FX, yeah, I guess I have to switch. I wonder what the currency exchange rate was in 2008 at the high. If I go to FX and I go to AUD USD, so here it is. So here's the bubble of 2008. The currency at the time was almost 1-to-1, and then the Aussie dollar was stronger than the US dollar, and now it got crushed. So here's what it tells you: the Aussie dollar at the all-time high of the Aussie stock market was 1-to-1 to the US dollar, and now if I go to the indices and I go to Australia, the current Aussie exchange rate is 30% lower versus the US dollar. So the Australian stock market is actually not at a new all-time high. It is at a new all-time high in terms of Australian dollars, but it is still about 25% lower in US dollars. That tells me that the Australian market has way upside. You're still not at an all-time high from a global perspective. Like the US-centric view is still way lower, the US-centric view, okay? US-centric view is way lower. So your market still has plenty of upside in Australian dollars, plenty of upside. Is it short-term overvalued? Sure, but there's no concern. I'm not concerned. That's strictly on TA. Your real estate is probably grossly overvalued, but you're getting some really good immigrants coming in from Asia, really smart people building companies. So your real estate probably has more room to the upside. All right, now let's go take a look at some stocks. Maybe I'll just go through it real quick. Weekly scale Amazon. I like this consolidation. This is a nice cup and handle consolidation, a nice ascending triangle consolidation. I am bullish Amazon here, and but the weekly is coming up on a 9 in a few weeks, so be careful. The daily, nice day today, nice 9 right here at the high, nice 9 at the prior high. I like this green 2 going above this green 1. I like Amazon here. I'm bullish Amazon. Google, holy nice 913 telling you to get out. Combo 13 as well, but a green 2 above a green 1 above the 9 gets you back in. I am bullish Google. Look at this. Insane. Of course I'm going to be bullish. Weekly scale. Even more bullish. Nice 9 right here at the high. Nice 9 here as well. Would have gotten me concerned, probably got me out. I'd probably get back in a few days ago if I was actively trading it. Here's Apple. I don't understand why Apple is rising, but rising it is. So you stay with the trend. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Apple, but the company is clearly doing something right. I don't care if they're buying back their own stock, driving it up. That's irrelevant to me. I don't care why Apple is going up. I care that it's going up, and TA is telling me to stay in the trade. Netflix isn't doing too hot. I would rather be in the first 3 stocks, even going into tomorrow, than Netflix. Netflix is telling me that it's a concern. Roku. Roku is still in the consolidation zone. This was a profitable trade that we put on during the options class. And unfortunately, Roku stayed right in the middle, which means the trade was profitable, but not ridiculously profitable, which it would have been if it closed near the purple lines. Tesla. Oh, you know, I would not hold it into earnings. When a stock goes up this much, it's very rare for earnings to outperform the expectation. So it's very likely that Tesla will dip on earnings, because when you go up this much, it's really hard to beat expectations. Consolidation in Facebook. I would love to see a price flip and then get in on a green 2 above a green 1 above these highs. It can push Facebook a lot higher. Microsoft, reversal candle here, a bunch of combo and sequential 13s here. And I would be concerned that I would be, see, this is what I would be getting out of Microsoft and deploying that money into a better, and into an asset that isn't, I think Microsoft is topping here. The 9 is coming, the reversal candle already came. I would already be out of Microsoft today, and I would be looking at some of the other stocks that are more interesting. I can always get back into Microsoft, but this kind of environment, this over exhaustion with reversal candles, with 9s, with 13s, tells me to get out of, take my profit from Microsoft and look to deploy that money elsewhere. Would I be shorting shit in this bullish market? Probably not. Another reversal candle here on AMD. It's not in line with the sequential, so I would be slightly concerned, but not overly concerned. This is where I would be getting out. I can always get back in. I would not be rushing out, but I would be concerned for a pullback, even though it's not timed with sequential. But the chart's bullish. Everything can always go higher. NVIDIA, consolidation at the top. You just had a 9 I like this pullback. I would love to see a pullback to the, 240 area, and then pick it up on a bounce to the upside. So it's bullish. The stock's bullish. I'm not even looking at weekly scales. Actually, let me go back to Microsoft. I want to look at it on the weekly. If that's a 9 on a weekly, then I would be out Microsoft. No, see, it's in the middle of its 9 count on the weekly. So it's not a, I would consider shorting it actually if this was a 9 on the weekly and a 9 on a daily after such a run up. I don't really care about Ford. It's a dead company according to, as far as I'm concerned. I think Tesla is going to destroy them all. Tilray. Is Tilray finally ready to the upside? It's taken a while. It's been taking its sweet time. Here's a weekly. No, it's a daily. I really thought Tilray had a shot, like back here somewhere. I forgot where already. Tilray is looking good. It's looking very good. Yeah, look at this. Beautiful combo 13 and a 9 at the bottom. Nice 2 above a 1 breakout. Reversal candle, price flipped. But that's okay. Let it pull back into the golden cross. I like Tilray here and has potential. Look how far it fell. It certainly has potential. I'm pretty bullish Tilray here. Maybe not on this candle, but I mean, wish I looked at it a week ago. This would have been gorgeous. This candle was gorgeous. Like, here's the time to get into Tilray. Here, here, and here. And do you know the rules? Combo 13, 9 buy, 2 above a 1. Now I would wait. I would wait a little bit and try to time it better. Starbucks. I've been bullish Starbucks in general, and beautiful. But I would not be holding Starbucks right now. I would be getting out. I think it's overexhausted. It gave you an 8. The 9's coming. Here's what happened. Here's a very similar pattern. Here's an 8, followed by a 9 that's already been going down. Didn't even hold the 9. Someone is saying, do you prefer trading CFDs or stocks on the Sequoia? It doesn't really matter. I prefer trading options. Like, it doesn't really matter. Learn sequential. What asset you, or like what instrument you apply it to is really up to you. I can glance at SNDL. Does it look better than Tilray? Well, it's not that it looks better than Tilray, it's further along. It also had a 9 buy right at the low. It moved up. Look at this pullback into the golden cross. That's exactly what Tilray is doing. So this could be an example of what Tilray is going to do. Look, it couldn't break the setup trend line. It breaks setup trend line and it goes higher. So I wouldn't say that it's better than Tilray. It's further along than Tilray. So where were we here? Starbucks. Very similar, this versus this. Look at the pullback, and then you can pick it up. So I think it's going to pull back. Not interested in this. Don't like the chart. It's not that bad, but I don't think, I think GM and Ford, I think they're done. I think they're done. Ooh, what is this? You have a bull market. You have a bull stock. What the hell is this? You have a bullish stock that got absolutely crushed. Oh, what is this? You have a stock that got destroyed for 67%. Stars Group. I have no clue what they do. Got got destroyed for 67%, and then it rebounded for 70. Come on. It's a daily chart. It must have pre-announced earnings. It's up over 100%. It had a beautiful, it didn't get you in. It got crushed on an earnings report. Never got you in with sequential. That's okay. Nothing's perfect. Got you out with sequential. Got you in with sequential. That is not earnings. So I don't know if this was expected or not. Sure, the volume is off the charts. That is a very bullish volume. I don't care that it's red colored. That's not how you read volume. And another 9 sell here. Nice entry on a break of the swing high on a green 2 above a green 1 above the high. Beautiful entry according to sequential. Got you out in this area. Got you back in. Well, I guess you could have gone back in over here and consolidated, but you could have also got back in here as it ran up. Some concern here, but no reversal candle. Double 9 pulled you back and a beautiful 9 buy right here. I'm intrigued. Strength tomorrow gets me in. Stop loss, probably below this moving average, below the 50-day. I would have loved to see this at the 50-day, but it's good. I like it. Aurora Cannabis. Never heard of it. Aurora Cannabis. Let's see what you got. 9 buy, probably lost you money on a stop loss, kept going down. Nice 913 buy. This one should have not lost you any money, got out on a break-even stop loss. A little too early for me. A little too early. I like the moving average support, finally above it. I would wait for consolidation into the golden cross. In a perfect world, I would buy a green 2 above a green 1 sometime in February at about $2.15. Let it consolidate for about 2 or 3 weeks. Buy off the golden cross off a good sequential count. Yeah, big pullback. Marijuana stocks might be coming back, guys. Marijuana stocks might be coming back. Find an index if you don't want to pick and choose winners. God, I don't know if I have time to go through all of these. So what was that one we looked at? No, it wasn't. It was TSG Box, and not interesting. I don't care. Twitter. Twitter is making a little bit of a comeback. Not that interesting to me. The chart. GoPro, is GoPro finally ready to rise? Thanks, Don. Thanks for your support, man. No, GoPro is useless. Fitbit, I got bought out. Not interesting. ATVI. Ooh, what do they do? I think this is a gaming company. ATVI, bullish, 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 bullish. 8 countdown, 5 sequential on a daily, weekly on an 8. Ooh, careful. And earnings is coming. Still bullish for another week, and then do not hold this stock through earnings. Square doesn't look very interesting. ExxonMobil doesn't look good at all. God, I would not touch this thing with a 10-foot pole right now. Look at the chart. Just look at the chart. Why would I go long here? I want to go long things that are rising. I don't want to go long things that are falling. They can keep falling. This looks like a disaster. ExxonMobil looks like it's ready to puke out a lung here. It's a giant descending triangle. Insane number of lower highs. It looks horrible. In a bull market, man, if you were ever looking for a stock to short in a bull market, earnings is coming, so careful. Boeing, you know, considering how many Boeing planes fell out of the sky, they're doing pretty well, surprisingly. I think Boeing could be a buying opportunity. All you need is a 9. Break-in setup trend is not ideal, but a 9's coming. The 200-week moving average is coming. What number is this? A 2. I'd wait. I'd probably wait through earnings at this point. Could be a buying opportunity after earnings. I looked at this yesterday. Oh, nice. See, I thought I said that this candle didn't concern me the other day, and boom, we go up. I've been eyeing this stock for a really long time, guys. I've been talking about this stock for 6 months. I've been saying how you know, it's gonna go back up, and it looks like it finally has. If you're in this asset, you've done very well, very well. I think there was a 9 on a weekly right there. Plenty of opportunities to pick it up at the low if you're patient and holding through it. Here is a combo 13 at the low. Here is a 9 at the low. You had plenty of chances to buy this thing, you know, in a $5 range. And if you did, you've done well. Would I buy it today? Probably not. I would have admitted that I missed it. There were so many times to buy. Here's another buying opportunity, a pullback into the golden cross. I mean, this is what TA is supposed to do for you. It's not supposed to always tell you to be invested. You know, sometimes you have to say, hey, I missed this opportunity to buy because I didn't buy it on the combo 13, and I didn't buy it on a 9, and I didn't buy it on the cross on a daily chart. And when it came to the weekly chart, I didn't buy it on a 9, and I didn't buy it on this break of a green 3 above a green 2. And when you didn't do these things, sometimes you got to say, I'm going to stay away from this trade. And it's possible that you look back at this trade a year from now, and the stock is sitting at $200 a share, and you think you're an idiot. But in reality, if it's you didn't take the trade that you should have, so maybe it's better to find a trade that you should take instead. Would I jump into this tomorrow morning? No. If I quit YouTube tomorrow and I started trading, would I buy this stock? No. I would find another JMIA and try to buy it off of the things that I said. I would not touch this, whatever the hell that is. Lyft looks better today than it did yesterday, mostly because I think Uber was the more bullish one, and there it is. Uber is lifting Lyft. That is a weekly 8, still got room, but be careful. That's a big run up here. I would start to look into taking profits. I would try to time my daily with my weekly. I would look to exit Uber on a next week on a daily 9 if it comes inside a weekly 9, and Lyft is lagging. You should have been in Uber based on TA. Fake Zoom, not interested. Real Zoom, I'm bullish. I'm bullish Real Zoom here. It's pulled back a little bit. Double 9's coming, so be careful. But at the moment, I'm bullish Zoom. Pinterest, I am bullish Pinterest, but I want to see a bigger pullback. I would love to buy Pinterest or in the $20 range, not the $23 range, right? So I would look for a 1 to 4 candle pullback here. You got 2 more days to go. I would consider Pinterest early next week off the pullback. Not big run up, not interesting chart, no idea what this is. I can't go through them all, guys. I really can't. I want to look at Titan. Titan was the short of the decade. It was over here. Titan was the short of the decade. It was a daily 9 inside a weekly 9 inside a monthly 9. It didn't even fall as much as I thought it would, but it fell 25%. Had another 9 up here, had another 9 up here. The dev for the sequential is in India. He trades this stuff. Dude, I hope you are raking it in with sequential and these Indian stocks because they are butter. Sequential 13 here, it's consolidating. I wouldn't be interested. Slack. Confused this with WeWork one time. Slack. Reluctantly, I would consider buying this pullback. Very reluctantly, with a very small position size and a very, very tight stop loss. Oh, fake meat. Let's talk about fake meat. Oh, look at that. I think I said that this thing was ready for a rebound because it pulled back quite a bit. And yeah, nice 9 here. Not actually, I'm lying. That's a terrible 9. A nice 9 would have been here where the 7 is. That's a nice day. I wouldn't buy this day, and I wouldn't buy this right now. It's overextended. I'd wait for earnings. If this thing is like at $300 going into earnings, it's going to disappoint, and it'll probably take it down hard. The time to buy this thing was back here somewhere. Maybe the weekly chart did a better job. It did. There's your 9. Not the best of 9s, but consolidation. Look, it would have been difficult to enter. It sure as hell wasn't difficult to get out, but it would have been challenging to enter. I don't like these green 2s above green 1s when the 1 is a giant candle. It's a rough trade. I think it's gone up too far too fast again. I think it's going to pull back. I'd look at it later. All right, I think I'm done. I think I'm tired. What is this? Whoa, what the hell is this? Virgin Galactic. Is this the airline? What the hell happened here? Tone, when's the new TD code? Probably, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to spend a week in Bali. If I can get some work done and I can remember how to release the code again, because it's been like 2 years, I'll get it done from Bali. I think the code's ready. I don't know. I don't know. I have nothing to say. Nine's coming, so get the hell out. Look at this. 9 at the low. Double 9 here, pullback. 9's coming. I don't know. You can't trade everything. I would. So this thing does nothing in forever. Does nothing in forever. Shoots up, crashes down, and shoots up like a slingshot. I don't know. Insane. And people say Bitcoin has a lot of volatility. This thing went up 25% in a few months. Then it fell 50% in a few months, and then it rose 155% in a few months. Good luck. All right. All right, I'm done, guys. I am done. I'm gonna enjoy the beach. Australia is great. I love it. Brisbane, now then Gold Coast, now Sydney. Please support through affiliate codes. We have a store where you can buy full t-shirts, including the Unconfiscatable shirt that I am wearing. I am going to publish my food article today, I hope. It's like a week late. I've been editing it. I'm a terrible writer. My last post was about the outlook for 2020. My upcoming post is how Tone-Base eats. It's not a recommendation of how you should eat. It's a view of how I eat. That should be, hopefully I'll publish that today. Check out Unconfiscatable going down in Vegas. And also check out the Financial Summit. Going down in Dominican Republic and Bali. I am also off to Bali this weekend. I will be in Bali this weekend, guys. I'll stay there for maybe up to a week. And I haven't reached out to the Bali community because I've just unfortunately been really, really busy. That's it for me. Saying, oh, that did not work. Saying goodbye from Bandai Beach. Awesome. Let me give you a better look where I'm staying. Michael, shout out for the hookup. I'm gonna try to catch the sunrise here tomorrow morning. The sunrise is at 6:30 in the morning. We have a meetup tonight. This is where I'm staying. It is really something else. It's really something else. Awesome. I need to go down and actually enjoy some of that beach. All right, guys. I'll talk to you all. I'll talk to you all on the next one. All right. How do I turn this off?